Hi everyone, welcome to Get Ready with me, Louise. So we're on the hunt for the perfect pink palette. And I started really thinking about this, of course, technically because of the strawberry palette from Too Faced, the Pop Tart palette. But I started thinking, like, what is the best, pink palette? Would it be something that is all pink? Because I really didn't care for that. Because I do like to actually, I didn't realize it really until I started doing these looks, but I like to pull other colors technically than pink, but pink as the primary color. Now this is pretty much an all pink look we're going to be doing, just like from light to dark. But then I started thinking, like, when it comes to pink, like, well, first I need to blend, but that's beside the point. We really need to get better at my blending skills, I think. But I started also thinking, like, do you want a playful pink? Do you want a more sophisticated look pink palette? Like, which way do you go if you wear pink? And the same with any color. Do you go the more sophisticated route with blues and greens and purples? Or do you go the fun route? I'm just curious, but we're doing the fun route today, obviously. And the first shade we're going to get started with is this one right here. Now, these colors could stain, so just be aware of that if you guess this palette. But that's the first shade we're going to go in with. And I personally, this particular palette, I love. And here's the thing, I don't necessarily love it for what it is. I love it because of the packaging, the theming. It just hits all the right feels. You know how when you open, like I was saying, a sophisticated palette, like if I opened up my my Gucci palette, say, it's so pretty. It feels so luxe. You just get this, like, moment, right? Well, the same thing goes with, like, palettes that really hit a chord, nostalgia with you or something, or just remind you of something, whatever it may be. It's the same way, this palette. It's nothing fancy, by no means, but it just gives me the feels in a way, like a kid. And that's why I started thinking, like, what kind of pink looks do you do if you do a pink look? Me, I kind of do all the routes. Like, there's the more sophisticated, obviously, and then there's the more playful, and I'm sort of like in between. I like them both in a way, just depending on, like, what I'm doing for the day. If I'm going out with friends and stuff, I probably will take the more sophisticated route, and because most of the people around me don't really mess with makeup at all, if anything, which, blah. I feel like more people should, because it's fun, even if you're just having fun with it. Like, there's just something to be said to having fun. Because, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not saying you have to do your makeup to look prettier. That's not what I'm saying, because you don't. That's for sure. But it's like coloring almost. You know what I mean? We're going to go into this shade right here now. It's like coloring to me. Instead of coloring paper, I'm coloring my face. And I don't care if it don't look good at the end of the day. You know what I mean? As long as I had fun. I mean, I want it to turn out okay, but it's not going to be perfect, and I'm well aware of that because I'm not a makeup artist. Just like if I color a paper, I'm probably going to do better than my kids at coloring, but staying in the lines and stuff, but it's still not going to be perfect. I'm going to have, I'm going to color outside the lines. And that's how I see makeup. I'm going to color outside the lines. It is what it is. I'm aware of that. And I'm okay with that because I'm having fun. It's my time to myself, my time to think, my time to do whatever I want to do. Yes, obviously, there's days, don't get me wrong, that I, do my makeup to maybe look better or feel better, whatever the case. But for the most part, I'm just doing it to have fun. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna go into that shade right here now, and I'm just gonna put it on the bottom lash line. But, I mean, to each their own on their reasonings for what they do or why they do it. I just think if people did it, it would bring them so much more joy. And I think that not because of I just think of it as you get that time to be a kid again. Or you get that 15 minutes to sit there by yourself without being nagged or hassled, and you're doing something fun maybe. I don't know. But then I can also see why people will, if they have 15 minutes free, they read a book, That's their way of, what's the word I'm looking for? Of getting their break, I guess, or thinking out to themselves. Okay, now we're going to go in with this shade right here, and we're going to darken up that outer corner. But yeah, I just really like to do my makeup and have fun with some color and play and be a kid again. And this palette gives me all that. If this is helping in any way with clues. So, the packaging is adorable. It is compact, which is nice. It's nostalgic for me. And it does give me a little more than pinks, obviously. But the majority, of the palette is leaned that way. Well, kinda. But it's intended to. You would expect it to be, but not all the way that way. Now, I did choose the colors to keep me in the pink, pretty much, category. But if I'm using this palette, to be honest, usually I do throw other colors in. But I'm trying real hard to sort of stay within the pink realm, I guess. And get both eyes the same, which is easier said than done. Now this next color, beautiful. It's probably one of my favorite colors. It's easier to pick up on my brush than it is to pick up on or it's easier to pick up on my finger than on a brush. There's a lot of fallout though, and that's kind of why. I said Natasha Denona, Galaxy is my favorite. Oh, and then it'd be Babies. This kind of reminds me of Babies from Natasha Denona, but hers is so much smoother, and it sticks together it's the way it's made. And you can pick it up on a brush. You can pick it up on your finger, however you want. It's not going to have a bunch of fallout and stuff. This one is hard to pick up on the brush, like I said, and you will have a lot of fallout if you're not careful. Now, if you spray it or you apply it with finger, it's not so bad. But with a brush, it is hard to pick up. You got to really push in there and grab it. Is it worth all the trouble? Yes, yes it is. Because this color, if you cannot see, is gorgeous. The way the light hits it to just like it looks like it's wet. It's a foiled shadow for sure. And this brand is known for these shadows. But they fall out. They fall all over the place. So do your eyes first, or definitely lay down a bunch of powder. Whatever you gotta do, spray it, apply it with your finger, because if not, you're gonna have a lot of fallout. Now, it's kind of iffy on whether it's easy to, swipe away or not, and depending on how much you put on your eye, makes a lot of difference too. And I did start thinking most people do spray their shadows. So I don't know why I have such an issue with spraying shadows. Because if most people are going to do that, it's like I need to just go ahead and do it. But for those that don't want to spray their shadows is why I apply them as is, so you can see. And even though I adore this shade, I do like the Natasha Denona formula so much better. I won't lie about that. Then for inner corner, here's your next clue. There's not a shadow in that particular palette that would go for my inner corner. So I just used out of this palette here, the highlighter in it, and I just put it in my inner corner only. Or out, yeah, inner corner. And I just stuck it there just because that's the highlighter I'm using on my cheeks. So I just figured I'd use same highlighter for my inner corner. And it worked. And if you want to know what it looks like, here, I'll put it on this finger and I'll just put it to the side because really it's not in this particular palette. That's what it looks like. And that's the highlighter I'm wearing on my cheeks. I just stuck it in the inner corners. And I don't think this is available anymore. It's called the Bare Glow Face Palette. But it's got a blush, a bronzer, and a highlighter. And yeah, I said that right. Bronzer, blush, highlighter. And I really do like this. I'm using it today. Not the blush, but the bronzer and the highlighter. The blush I'm using, I'm actually going through my Dior and their blushes, and I'm wearing the Chardonnay, I think is how you pronounce it. And I'm comparing that formula against the Rosy Glow formula to see which one I like better, because I'm not so sure the Rosy Glow is the formula I enjoyed the most, to be honest. And then for lips, I actually pulled out my Chanel in Sensual Rose, the one where it's like a liquid lip and then you put a gloss and it feels great and it don't move. I love this formula. I love that. I love that color. I love this formula. I actually have another one that I love, which is called Soft Rose. I have a thing with rose. So, and I adore it. Like, absolutely adore it. Alright. Now, mascara today, I actually switched it up. But, there it is. I was like, where'd it go? I'm using the Wander Mile High Club Volume Length Mascara. Voluminist Mascara. So, I'm using it today for the top lashes. What do I think about it? I don't know. I don't think it's bad mascara. I mean, people do really talk about this mascara. It's not bad. The brush is just a straight small brush, so if that's the kind of brush you like, you would definitely love this. So far it hasn't transferred, which is great because that's my biggest concern there. It applied nicely. It gave me length and volume. I kind of see me using this though, if it doesn't smudge, which I didn't use it today for the bottom lashes, But if this doesn't like transfer or flake or anything, because of the way this brush is, I kind of see it for a bottom lash line for myself. Because these are the kind of brushes I like for my bottom lash line, not necessarily my top. Although at the same time, I did not curl my lashes at all. And this seemed to like do that for me. It's almost like it lifted my lashes, lengthened them, like the whole 9 yards, length, volume, and curl. And I don't necessarily know if it was supposed to curl, because it doesn't say like on the tube. And this is no longer carried at Sephora. But when they were leaving Sephora, everything went on sale and I purchased it. Purchased a couple of things from Wander Beauty actually to try it out. But I think I'm gonna like this mascara, honestly. As long as it doesn't transfer or flake or smudge, I think it's gonna be a good one. Favorite? No. Good? Yes. Okay. I'll put a second coat on in a minute, but I just want to make sure I get it all coated at least once. But can you see how it's curling them up? Now, I don't know if it'll hold the curl or not, but I can definitely see the curl at the end. Like, it's crazy. Wasn't expecting that. For bottom lashes, you know, I'm going to use the... I'm going to drop that. I'm going to use the Lancome for the bottom. But you can see kind of how the wands are like small and little. And that's kind of wands I like to use on the lower lash line. And I'm wondering if that will be a good mascara for the lower lash line. I swear to goodness, I am dropping everything today. Just flying. Now quit. That's ridiculous now. Alright, so I do have to do another thing with that, but I gotta clean up. I messed up. And like I said, I did get fallout from that previous shade. There's nothing I can do about that, to be honest. I got fallout from the pink shade on this side, so I don't know how I managed that one. Not paying attention, I guess, would be my answer. There we go. Alrighty. And then one more coat for the top and we're done. But yeah, I think this mascara is going to do good. I'm kind of impressed by it. And it applies on top of itself really well too. Have you tried this mascara by chance too? Curious. Because I'm going to keep trying this. I don't think this would beat out my Gucci at all, but I do wonder if it would beat out the Lash Clash. But the Lash Clash gives me much more volume. I don't know. We'll see. Anywho, so clues for the palette. The packaging, so cute. It gives me all the warm feelings. And it just says, play. Play with me, please. Is this the best look? No. This shadow on the lid, #1 shadow in the palette. This is the color story that I used to create the look. I mean, just look at that shadow. Oh my gosh. Y'all. And if you're anywhere near my age, born in the 80s, this palette, I'm telling you, if you want to play and you want to have more than just pinks, this is the palette for you. Like, get it if you want to have fun. Now, if you're looking for a neutral palette, or if you want it to be like half color, half neutral, sophisticated kind of look, nope, skip it. But this is definitely not a sophisticated type of look by no means. It is playful. It is boom in your face. But it is adorable. The packaging, adorable. It's sturdy. It's easy to travel with. It's easy to store. It's nostalgic. It's everything you want it to be if you want to have fun as an adult. Playing with makeup, basically. But if you can guess the palette, leave it down in the comments and you could win. And I guess that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, hit all. That way you're notified when I upload. I upload every day but Sunday. And I will see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye.